mean, you have to get punched in the mouth. I think every single person needs to get punched in the mouth. What do I mean by that? Do I actually mean that you should walk up to somebody and punch them in the mouth? Not exactly, but sometimes people do need it. Make a choice. Be a champion. I just got back from a Gary Vee conference the other day, and it was so refreshing to hear him talk about all the same stuff that I talk about on a daily basis. I mean, there was several different amazing speakers that came up and talked on stage, and everybody's talking about the same kind of things. But what Gary's always talking about is that you got to stop with the bullshit and know your truth. And that's one of the things that I'm always on. And I know some people probably get a little sick of the repetitiveness that I talk about with what I do, or maybe they don't. I mean, I don't get sick of it, so this is me just guessing. But you know, when I see the other guys doing the same thing, when their message is so clear to them that they don't care how many times that they have to talk about it. And for me, it's if you really truly want to learn who you are and your own truth, just like what these other guys talk about, is I'm using this context figuratively and literally. I mean, you have to get punched in the mouth. I think every single person needs to get punched in the mouth. What do I mean by that? Do I actually mean that you should walk up to somebody and punch them in the mouth? Not exactly, but sometimes people do need it. Everyone makes excuses over things, and they want to talk about what they think their perceived value is, what they think that they've done in the past gives any weight to what they're doing now. And those are the people that need to get punched in the mouth in fighting, right? Like, I'm just going to talk about my experiences through fighting. When I was at this convention and I see these people looking for answers, which is great. I love the fact that people go there looking for answers. But these are the people that, and I'm guilty of this, I did this for a very long time, that are searching and searching and studying and studying and studying, but there's no action. They become stuck. They get paralysis through analysis, and they're always looking for more information before they start. And then there was a couple speakers up there that are very big into the emotion creates motion, and they get everybody up and they start cheering, and they want you to high five your neighbor, and they want you to massage somebody you don't know to break your comfortability. That's great. But if you don't take action after that, it's not going to do anything. Massaging a neighbor, yes, it's going to break the comfortable thing of you sitting in your shell. I get it. But breaking out of your comfort zone is not going to prepare you for when you get punched in the fucking mouth. And that is the truth. You know, I go to these things and I see the way these people talk, and it's like everybody gets fired up and they're hyped up, but that's not reality. That's not. What is reality is when you're being drugged through the dirt and your face hits nothing but a pile of shit every single time you try to breathe. That is reality. And I think people would get a better result if they went to a seminar where the lead speaker just punched them in the mouth. Because then it's reality. You understand that you've been hit, you didn't die, and you can pick yourself up and keep going. And that's what I've learned from fighting, is that through the years of fighting, I've had to overcome so much adversity. I've literally been punched in the mouth. I've been kicked in the mouth. I've been kneed in the mouth. I've lost my teeth. I've broken my nose. I've broken other bones. I've had stitches all over my whole face. But yet, I'm still here. I didn't make excuses. Maybe I tried to find validation for why something didn't go my way, but that was at that moment, and then I bounced back from it. Even then, those were learning things for me. I had to learn through those adversities. We truly do not know who we are until we've overcome the most painful adversities. And that's the truth. And that's one thing that every single successful person in the world is going to tell you, that you have to fail time and time again. And here's the crazy thing about it. You failing is never going to stop. Failing is just meaning that you're on a new level, that you have to figure out new tools. For every goal that you want, at every stage of your life, you are going to have to develop new tools to get there. And unless you fail, you're not going to be able to understand what tools you need. And unless you get punched in the fucking mouth, you are not going to understand what you need. Because let's be honest, the first time you get hit, that is a reality check. Okay? I realize that hurt. I need to make adjustments. Then you get hit again. I need to make adjustments. Here's where the real test is. It's when everything's going great for you, when everything's going amazing, when it doesn't seem like the world could do anything wrong to you, and then BAM! You take a big flying knee right in the mouth and you fall down to the floor. Now, the test begins. Do you pick yourself up? Do you keep going? Or do you say, I got knee in the mouth, this hurts, and I'm gonna stay down? That's the test. It's not about high-fiving your neighbors or massaging each other because you're breaking your comfort zone. It's really about how do you handle things when the tide gets turned. It's easy. It is so easy to be motivated and excited about things when you're doing well and when it's fun. How about when you were doing well and it's fun, then all of a sudden it's not fun anymore? And it's still in front of you. The problem is still there. Think about when you're fighting. You get kneed in the mouth. The problem is still there. If this is a prize fight, the problem is right in front of you until that fight is over. You have to decide whether you're going to fight back and give it everything you got, or you're going to lay down and you're going to accept that the problem took the best of you. And many of us have overcome problems in our past. And we allow that to be what's dictating our life now. But the problem is that the problems from our past, if we haven't moved on, just because we overcame that problem then doesn't mean we've actually progressed now. Like I said earlier, every stage of your life is going to require a new version of you. And that's one of the things I've learned, like climbing up through the ranks of fighting, is that every time that I fought a better fighter, or it was for a new title or a new organization, I had to create a different level athlete, a different level fighter. I had to acquire new tools for the opponent that I was getting ready to battle. Because if I didn't, then I was just going to accept the fact that I was stuck on the same level as I was before. And then when I go in there and I lose, I could find excuses as to why I lost. Now, this is a hard thing to develop. It's a skill. Understanding that getting hit in the mouth is what you need. This is actually a skill. Learning how to take a punch is a skill. Learning how to not show that it affected you is a skill. But through repetition and doing it over and over and over again, we start developing a callous skin. Our body starts being able to develop what we need to be able to take it. Our mind starts getting stronger so that we can take the blows and we can start turning it into a positive. Because the last thing you want to do is just take punishment over and over and over again, but you're not actually developing from it. You don't want to be just a punching bag, and I'm using that as an actual term. You don't want to be a punching bag in somebody else's business. You don't want to be a punching bag in somebody else's life. You don't want to be a punching bag, sure as hell not in an actual fight. But a lot of people have developed these comfortabilities as being a punching bag. And I know I had that when I was younger, when I was getting bullied my entire childhood. I was the end of everybody's joke, and I accepted it. I was like, oh, this is just the way it is. But that's only because I did not have the strong enough mental capacity at the time to stand up and say, no, I'm gonna fight this one. This isn't happening anymore. But it was the day that I decided that, yes, I'm getting up and I'm no longer making a decision to lay down. That's when I decided to build a champion's mentality. That's all it is a choice. You get hit in the mouth, you have to make a choice. What do? Do you run away? Do you cry? Do you try to talk it out? Or you get up and fight for what the fuck you deserve? If you're already in there, if you've done the work, it doesn't matter. You got to be willing to die in there. And that becomes a mentality. Because every stage, you don't know how deep you're going to have to dig until you're in that moment. Champions are built in the moment. It's not because you train hard. Everybody trains hard. It's not because of the studying that you did in school. It's got nothing to do with that. A real champion is defined in the moment that it is needed for them to be in. The defining moment is a choice. And going to these speaking events and listening to people talk, and I hear their truths, and I hear what they're talking about, that all works for them and it's great. But for me, I needed to get punched in the mouth. Apparently, I needed to get punched in the mouth for 15 years for me to figure it out. But it's okay, because it's not about how long or how short it took you to get there. The point of the journey is that you're getting there. And I know every day now, I'm getting a step closer and a step closer to the next level, the next chapter. And there's gonna be challenges that are gonna come after me every single step of the way, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, instead of running from those challenges, it's always about, all right, great. I have to acquire new skills now. I'm always looking to acquire new skills, but I don't know what skills I need until the challenge is presented. And that's where the champion's born. So we have a choice every single day. Do I decide to make excuses? Do I decide to be somebody else's punching bag? Or do I take this moment and do I decide to be a champion?